Buy these powerful Yu-Gi-Oh cards before they skyrocket in price. My guy, there is a ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards right now that I'm picking up, and I want to give you the 411. Why? Because I love you. Seriously, I hope that your day phenomenal. But if it isn't, don't let what happened at the beginning of your day ruin the rest of your day. Of course, big dog, the only thing that I ask of you, if you want to help me out, is to use my TCG player link down below in the description. And also, if you wanted to get this information a little bit early, go ahead and check out my Patreon as a special thank you for helping me pay my editors. Let's jump on in. So when your boss dog pick up Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the main thing that I want to look for is staying ahead of the curve. Valiant Smashers just came out by the time that you guys got this video, and there's some really powerful cards in there that can change the landscape of the game. I think personally it's always good to stay up to date even if the set doesn't look good, because Centurion is bound to make cards skyrocket in price. Now for the big dogs that don't know, I actually made a video talking about Centurion. This is a deck that can synchro summon into 12 really easily. So cards like Crimson Dragon have been exploding up, but to be honest with you, Crimson Dragon is good for multiple reasons. I mean, not only is it the Crimson Dragon, if you watch 5Ds then you know, this card can actually turbo out synchro monsters to your side of the field, like Bestial Dispatter. And as of recent, most synchro decks have been summoning Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. That's what Centurion does. Now, I would personally tell you that if you like synchro summoning, that you should pick up Crimson Dragons, but you should also take a look at those other level 12 synchro monsters. They're actually kind of insane. Cards like Cosmic Blazar Dragon, Shooting Quasar Dragon, Red Supernova Dragon, and Despian Luluwelilith. Those cards are actually crazy good and can be turboed out by Crimson Dragon. And they become especially powerful since the Centurion deck does allow you to synchro summon in the 12. Even if you don't plan on picking up those Centurion cards, having level 12 synchro monsters is probably going to be the next thing, especially if you want to stay on top of your synchro game. I also think another synchro 12 monster you should be looking out for is Super Heavy Samurai Brave Masuro. This card allows you to protect some of your other cards by destroying himself or a Super Heavy Samurai you control, but also if you have no cards in your hand, allows you to draw 3 cards. It's generic and it's kind of crazy. My guy, in a hand trap heavy format, being able to draw 3 free cards just for your opponent playing Yu-Gi-Oh is kind of crazy. But I really wouldn't stop there when it comes to picking up synchro techs. There's obviously some cards that players are going to be looking for to be able to counter Centurion if it actually becomes a really powerful deck. One of them is easily Unending Nightmare. And again, in case you didn't know, this Centurion deck is built on being able to activate your monsters as trap cards. If you use Unending Nightmare, you can destroy those monsters before they can hit the side of the field. And all it does is cost you a lowly 1,000 life points. I actually like this card just slightly better than Cosmic Cyclone because it can deal with multiple threats. Not saying that Cosmic Cyclone isn't a good card against them, but this card has a ton of potential in the secret rares and ultra rares are a couple of years old. Then there is some cards that if you want to get nitty gritty with it. I personally think that this card is more of a tech. Maybe it won't go up in price, but it's ridiculously cheap and is almost a no-lose situation. Trap Eater is actually amazing against Centurion because those cards are treated as trap cards. You can send them to the graveyard to summon your Trap Eater before they can use it to fact. Also, if you're playing a deck like Centurion, which is notoriously low on tuner monsters, this card actually provides a level 4 tuner monster to your side of the field. Now, if you're a 5Ds enjoyer, pause, you've been loving this new synchro support. You're also old enough to remember when Yu-Gi-Oh staples were incredibly expensive and were almost impossible to get. Incoming the 25th Rarity collection, which I may have to say, I was wrong about some things. In case you didn't know, I made a video on CaliEffect giving you the truth about the Rarity collection, and one thing that I will say, it is not a terrible Yu-Gi-Oh set. Valiant Smashers is. You definitely outdid yourself, Konami. The next thing I was wrong about with this set was absolutely nothing. I was actually 100% right other than that. If you want more details on what I think about the 25th anniversary set, then go ahead and check out that video. You'll find some shocking truths with this because it's actually going to pair and par with the cards you should buy. I think you should buy a lot of cards from the Rarity Collection's 25th set but only as singles. Don't buy the case. Your esteemed gentleman not only seen people open a case, he also opened the case of it itself because it was either opening this or Valiant Smashers, and I ain't opening no Valiant Smashers. Case can get Valiant smashed on. Nobody ain't doing that. One thing that I noticed about my case and other people's cases is that pulling a card over that secret rare rarity inside of this set was impossible. Literally, in $800 worth of product, you cannot get a playset of anything above secret rare. That's Platinum Secret Rare, Prismatic Secret Rare, Prismatic Ultimate Rare, 25th Anniversary Rare, all of the cool looking rarity cards. This creates a little bit of a problem because there's genuine scarcity of getting playsets of these cards. Once the 25th Anniversary set goes out of stock, that's it. And if you know anything about simple economics, that's gonna make things jack up in price. Go ahead and pick up those high rarity cards before it's too late. I personally think that your staple Yu-Gi-Oh cards like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Ghost Bell, Evenly Matched, Triple Tactics Talent, and Prosperity you should get in the rarity that you like the most. To be honest, it does not matter about which particular rarity out of the high rarity cards that you get, just make sure that you're happy with them and know that this is going to be an investment that will increase over time. And one tip that I've been noticing is that a lot of players do not value the Platinum Secret Rare with the cool looking border. To be honest with you, it looks completely sick, but a lot of people treat them just like the regular secret rares. I would definitely go ahead and mosey on my way to some of them copies if I was you, especially if I was getting into the game and wanted some nice rarity versions of these cards. Now, as for particular cards that don't necessarily get played in a ton of decks, I would say cards like Reinforcement of the Army and Change of Heart, crazy. May want to even consider picking those up at quarter century rare because both of them are relatively cheap. I also think it's the perfect time to get other blinged out extra deck monsters like Mud Dragon of the Swamp and put on the floor while there are so many in abundance. Now, I think no matter what you do, a lot of those cards that I mentioned are pretty much guaranteed to go up in price right now. But what about the more risky decision? My boy, you already know how I am. I'm all about the risk, because 9 times out of 10, we getting the reward. These particular cards that I'm about to unveil to you are for the big ballers, the people that want to go hard or go home when it comes to be able to secure in the bag. I personally think that some of these cards are a little bit too good. Cards like Saravis, the Ancient in Ascendant seems like an amazing card right now. Decks like Rescue Ace, Tearlament, and even the Unchained Link monsters all will target monsters on your side of the field where this card can be used. Currently, Saravis has 3 prints, a rare from Amazing Defenders, an ultra rare from Dual Overload, and the secret rare from a set so long ago dinosaurs roamed the earth when it came out. In my opinion, Saravis is just a tell of what's to come into the future, just like how Super Polymerization is a card that everyone should have right now, hands down. Super Polymerization was just made popular a couple of weeks ago and players have not been paying enough attention. It's amazing against almost every single combo deck in the game right now. But exactly, none of the high rarity printings have went up in price. Now granted, there's quite a few high rarity printings. There's a Starlight Rare, a Quarter Century Rare, and an Ultimate Rare, but those printings have happened a long time ago and supplies are finite. If you just so happen to be one of those big baller boys, then securing a high rarity copy of Super Polymerization is a must, because even if it doesn't go up right now, it's almost guaranteed to go up in the future. Relinquished Anima only has 2 printings, one in Brothers of Legends and the other in Dual Overload, and this card is actually way better than Link Kribo for the simple reason is that sometimes you can put Relinquished Anima into the Link arrow that it points to very easy. A decent amount of Link monsters have that arrow pointing upwards, meaning that Relinquished Anima can not only take those, you can also put monsters like Nibiru the Primal Being in the appropriate spot for Anima to be able to take advantage. And then of course, my boy, it's those times your opponent just has to put a card right there. They had to, but they just blessed you with that spot. And then lastly, for the secret sauce this format, I actually think this card is amazing right now, and not a lot of people are paying attention to it. Magic Deflector is a trap card that came out in Abyss Rising, and for reference, in case you didn't know, almost to the date, this card would be 11 years old if it had a birthday. And considering that it only has 2 printings, one from that old set, another one from an OTS tournament pack, this card actually packs a powerful punch and has a great effect. This card says for the duration of the turn, you can negate all quick, field, continuous, and quick play spell cards. Huh? What? Nani? My guy, that's all spell cards are right now. Magic Deflector is actually insane against some of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh right now. Infernoble, Rescue Ace, Pearly, Vanadium, you name it, this card completely shuts those players down. And it's kind of crazy because this ain't the only time I told you to pick up magic deflectors, but here we are. Getting a hold of this card is probably going to be a must in the future. Hopefully it does get a reprint for some of the players to be able to take advantage, but for right now, I would pick them up. And the last card that I want to talk to you about is probably my Copium take. I swear this card's gonna be good. It's a great card. This card is amazing. Once it goes up in price, you'll regret the day. Come on, my guy. I brought Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwoods. I gotta find a Copium take. I think that Dark Hole Dragon is a lot better than what people are giving it credit. This card can summon itself to the side of the field anytime monsters are destroyed, as long as it doesn't target. It summons itself as a 3000 attack guy and then searches you a dark hole. But the best thing about Dark Hole Dragon is that it can be used proactively. If you destroy your opponent's monsters, you can summon Dark Hole Dragon from your hand or graveyard. That gives you an additional body for you to use for whatever you want to, but also can be used defensively. If your opponent destroys your monsters, you can summon it as a chunk blocker. On top of that, 25th anniversary versions of Dark Hole are $20, and the ultra rare, neglectable. Now again, it just might be my Copium take on that particular card, but if this card actually takes off, then there's going to be a genuine problem. And that's all that I have for the cards that you should buy before they skyrocket in price, big dog. Of course, if you guys have some other cards that you think we should be talking about, go ahead and let us know down below in the comment section. And again, the only thing that I ask is that you use my TCG player link down below in the description, as well as your undying loyalty, and you to check out these videos, because I'll catch you on the next one.